Welcome to Storycraft Portal, where stories aren't just told, they're felt. Today, we take you on a journey into the most iconic and heartbreaking ship disaster the world has ever known. That a true story, not just of a ship, but of ambition, pride, and irreversible loss. Imagine a ship so grand, so advanced, that the world called an unsinkable ship, praised by newspapers, worshipped by engineers, and filled with the elite of 1912. Its name echoed across continents. Titanic, that IT was more than a ship. It was a symbol of human achievement, built with cutting-edge engineering and construction, and believed to be invincible. But within days, it sank beneath the Atlantic. This wasn't just a maritime accident. That IT was a collision between man's confidence and nature's silence. And over 1,500 souls paid the price to what truly sank the Titanic. Was it the iceberg, or our blind trust in machines? This is the story behind the fall of the Titanic. In 1912, a new era of technology and confidence was rising. The Titanic stood as the shining example of modern progress. People called it the greatest ship in history before it even set sail. IT wasn't just a ship. It was human ambition floating on water. Newspapers proudly labeled it the unsinkable ship. IT became a global symbol of power and perfection. The ship's construction took over 3 years and 15,000 workers, designed by top engineers. It had every advanced feature of the time, .16 watertight. Compartments were believed to make it invincible. Crowds gathered in awe as Titanic prepared for its maiden voyage. Rich families, businessmen, even celebrities were among its first passengers. Boarding Titanic felt like entering a palace on the sea. The interior had pools, gyms, grand staircases, pure luxury. To first-class cabins were better than 5-star hotels at the time. This wasn't travel. This was living history. But beneath this beauty was a quiet flaw. Confidence turned into carelessness over time. What if everything they believed was wrong? As Titanic left port, no one imagined the danger ahead in drills. No serious warnings, just celebration. The pride of 1912 was already sailing towards silence. Titanic's voyage began with blue skies and calm waters. Passengers laughed, posed for photos, and explored the decks. IT was more than just a journey. It felt like destiny. Over 2,200 people were on board, from millionaires to workers. Some dreamed of a new life in America. Others simply wanted to be part of history. For the first few days, everything was perfect. The food, the service, the luxury, unmatched at sea. People called it a floating hotel, even better than land. But beneath that joy, warning signs had already started appearing. Nearby ships had reported icebergs in Titanic's path. Yet the ship kept full speed ahead. Officers received multiple iceberg warnings that day. Still, no orders were given to slow down. IT was believed nothing could hurt the unsinkable ship. There were not enough lifeboats, only for half the people. But no one questioned it. Confidence ruled the decks. Even drills were skipped. They didn't think they were needed. Titanic sailed deeper into the cold North Atlantic night. The water below was silent, dark, and deadly. What came next would rewrite maritime history. It was 11:40 p.m. on April 14th, 1912. The night was freezing, the ocean silent, and skies completely clear. Suddenly, a dark shadow appeared ahead, too late to turn. The iceberg scraped Titanic's right side, tearing through the hull. Steel plates buckled. Compartments began to flood instantly. But passengers barely noticed the impact at first. Crew rushed below to assess damage. What they saw terrified them. .5 watertight compartments were breached, one more than the limit. IT meant only one thing: Titanic would sink. Still, there was disbelief on deck. People laughed, unaware of the danger beneath them. Some even kicked around ice chunks as if it were a game. Captain Smith was informed. Titanic had less than 3 hours left. Lifeboats were prepared, but panic hadn't started yet. Many still believed help was coming soon. The ship's band began playing to keep passengers calm. Lights still glowed. Everything felt strangely normal for now. But the cold truth was rising fast below. Water flooded through corridor after corridor. Cabins were submerged. The ship began tilting forward, Reality hit. The unsinkable ship was sinking. Panic finally began as the bow sank deeper into the sea. The Titanic's tilt became obvious. People began rushing toward lifeboats. Crews struggled to maintain order, but fear had taken over. There weren't enough boats, and some were launched half full. The third-class passengers were trapped by locked gates. Desperation spread. It was now survival of the fittest. Distress rockets lit the sky, hoping nearby ships would respond. But help was too far away, and time was running out. Water reached the Titanic nameplate, now half underwater. Women and children were prioritized for lifeboats. Men stayed behind, some accepting their fate. The band kept playing, even as the deck flooded. The rear of the ship began lifting higher. People slid down the deck as the angle worsened. It was no longer about luxury. It was about survival. Some jumped into the freezing ocean. Others held onto railings, hoping for a miracle. And then, with a deep groan, the ship began to break. At 2:20 a.m., Titanic vanished beneath the water. More than 1,500 people were left in the icy dark. The world's greatest ship. Disaster was complete. In the freezing Atlantic, lifeboats drifted with survivors in shock. Many in the water died within minutes from hypothermia. Only one lifeboat returned to search. They found very FEW Dawn. RMS Carpathia arrived and rescued 705 people. Survivors stared back at the empty ocean, forever changed. Nothing remained of Titanic, just cold water and memory. Global news exploded with the tragedy. Investigations began immediately to find a cause. The world demanded to know, how could the unsinkable ship sink? Official inquiries exposed flaws in safety protocols. Lifeboat laws were changed forever. Shipping standards evolved because of this single event. Titanic wasn't just a construction failure. It was human error. Warnings were ignored. Speed wasn't reduced. Overconfidence became the true villain. Today, Titanic lies 12,500 feet below the sea. Rusting in silence, it reminds us of our limits. Even giants can fall, and history never forgets. This isn't just a story of ship, but it's the cost of ignoring the obvious. The Titanic didn't fail us. We failed ourselves.